Welcome back, Shalloners, and welcome Believers and Baldwiners and losers, whatever Hailey Baldwin's fans call themselves. Today, I want to talk about love lessons and red flags from Justin Bieber and Hailey Baldwin's Vogue cover interview. Now, before I get started, I just want to make it very clear how much I ship these two. I love Hailey, like I'm obsessed with her, and I love Justin. I love Justin. You don't believe me? Look, that is a picture of him from his Calvin Klein ad, framed in my house. It is always there. It doesn't matter who I'm dating or how creepy it is to the guy, okay? I love Justin. Don't come for me saying that I don't. However, when I read their cover interview, my antenna went up a lot because there were so many things that both of them said that I'm like, oh God, you guys, this is bad. This is real bad. I really want this couple to succeed. I think they're cute together. And also I want them to succeed because they had like the worst breakup. So I was excited to see them get back together. What happened during their breakup? Let me tell you. But first, I just want to let you guys know that if you have a private love question for me, or you want to talk about family, friends, dating style, fashion, sex, blowjobs, whatever, find me on the Instant Go app. My username is ShallonXO. And click chat to be connected with me instantly and we can chitty chat. So yeah, Justin and Hailey. Oh yeah, their breakup. So this is what I've always heard, and I've done videos about them before, and I tell you guys the story, and everyone, I'm gonna tell it again. So they dated like a few years ago, and like this was when he was kind of in his like slutty, terrible phase still, and she was about to get on a plane to meet him in Hawaii, and he's like, "Don't fucking come," and she's like, "I'm at the airport, like I'm about to board." What? He's like, "Did I fucking stutter?" And hung up on her, and she was like wrecked, like of course wrecked as any adult would be, like let alone I think she was like 19 at the time. It was horrible. And so then he didn't just like stay in Hawaii and like lay low. No. It's when he invited like 12 Instagram sluts out there, pictures on the helicopter, pictures with his wiener out, crawling through the jungle, just like the most awful thing you could like possibly see after a douchebag has just dumped you. The most famous douchebag in the world has just dumped you. So she was like messed up for a really long time about this. Like we have some mutual friends and they were all like, ooh, like that did a number on her, of course. So I was like sort of happy and sort of sad to see them get back together. Like you want to think that like, oh, my fuckboy will one day propose to me. But also it's like, well, screw you, Justin. Who says he deserved a second chance? People change and they do mature, especially like around their ages, you know, but are people ever really different? This is the question we have to ask ourselves. So what exactly was such a red flag for me in their interview? So Justin, if you guys didn't read it, Justin was basically like, you know, I have issues trusting people, and long story short, he was basically abandoned by his parents, and like he was his dad. I mean, his dad has a soul patch and a chain wallet. Come on. And his mom was like totally ill-equipped to be the parent of a famous person. And she kind of like sold her parental rights to Scooter Braun when Justin was like 17. This is like not out there, but this is what I've always heard. So Justin was sort of like unparented, and fame is a type of trauma, and trauma freezes you at the age you are when it happens. My father died really unexpectedly when I was 22, and I am kind of stuck at 22. Like, it's not like I date people who are 22 because I feel comfortable in that zone. Justin reached fame when he was what, like 13, 14. And when you look at him through that filter, you're like, oh yeah, everything you do you're kind of this Bart Simpson, you know? Like you want to be better, but it's hard. He's trying to overcome like this trauma, in essence, history. And it was really telling to me when he said that Hailey was kind of like the security that he's always wanted. Okay, let's unpack that. I remember watching Dr. Phil and this awful couple who just hated each other decided to have a baby to save the marriage. And he's like, how dare you bring a child in this world with a to-do list? That is not what that baby should have been born for. You don't have a baby with an agenda already attached to him. You don't have a spouse with an agenda attached to him or her either. That's not healthier. Like, how do I explain this? Like, we all need complementary angles from the people we pair up with. You know, because if you ask anybody on planet Earth, what are you looking for in a partner? Everyone says basically the same thing. Someone who's smart, kind, funny, thoughtful. And yet you see people paired up with the antithesis. It was just monsters and garbage people. And you're like, what? It's because we don't necessarily date with our heads. We date with our issues. We date with our complexes. And so Justin sees in Hailey exactly what he's always been missing, which is that stability, that sort of like logical mom force. Because that's apparently in the article, they were saying that that's how all her friends describe her, like steady, secure, like logical, just a rock. And that is what Justin has deeply needed. It's interesting because I talk a lot about the book, The Art of Seduction. It's sort of like my own personal, like, evil Bible. And that is the foundation of the seductive principle, is find what someone is missing and be that. You know, it's like the Taylor Swift song, find out what you want and be that girl for a month, you know? And that is essentially what Hailey has done, you know, not inauthentically, but that is why Justin is into her. What I can't understand is what she's getting from Justin. You know? And I know you're gonna say, well, love. No shit, okay? That we have to ask for more from our relationships than just love. Like, it's like saying, oh, you're selling a house, what's it look like? It's walls and a roof. And I gathered that, okay, but what else is it? You know, what else is a marriage beyond just like love? Because at the end of the day, marriage is logistics. Marriage is a lot of things. And like love, yes, it's got to be there as a foundation, but you don't just live on a foundation. You build upon a foundation. So what is that you're building? What comprises that building? And I couldn't, based on what Hailey had said, and obviously, you know, an interview isn't like the entire introspection into someone's marriage. You never know what goes on behind closed doors and what the dynamic is really like. But it was hard for me to tell what she was getting out of this situation. It seemed to me she was getting the satisfaction of having the fuckboy love her, you know? And I've said before, when I like a guy, I'm like a dog chasing a car. What would I do if I actually caught it? Like, I never actually stopped to think, what would it really be like if this dude was like, I'm all in, I love you? Ooh, yikes. Hadn't considered that. And I feel like that's sort of how Hailey might have been thinking. You know, she was leading with that trauma of the wrongs that he had done to her and was like, I can't not let him make this right. I get it. Like, don't think that any of this is like an indictment on either one of them, but it's an interesting character study and we can learn so much from it, you know, because their relationship is no different than millions of other relationships. And I'm not saying it's not even going to work. I think they've definitely got some challenges ahead because, like I said, Justin needs her. She doesn't necessarily need him. Like, if he were to leave her, she would still be more of a whole person. If she's dumping Justin, suddenly this foundation, this like anchor person is gone and he's floating out in the atmosphere. He's completely adrift and doesn't have the skills to cope. That's what we call codependency. Where I could never really like understand codependency. It's like, well, we're all dependent on the people we love. Like, yes, but not in the way that like, if you leave, you are taking my coping mechanisms, you're taking my sanity, and you're taking like my sense of identity with you. That's not how it should be. I love my boyfriend, and if he left me, I would be sad. I mean, sometimes he just drives me just ugh. But like, I wouldn't be like, who am I without him? You know, you can't ever get into a relationship like that because it's not a healthy relationship. It's a codependent one. You can't know what half of a whole you are. Sorry. You can't be half of a whole in a marriage or relationship if you don't know what half you are. You got to be okay on your own. You got to be with someone because they complement you, not because they complete you. I am complete. I am a closed circuit. I'm good. Boys complement my lifestyle. They don't complete it, you know? And so I worry about Justin and Hailey because I get the sense that she is checking a box for him and that she has a role beyond a loving partner. She has the task of fixing him and of making him believe and trust people again. That's a lot of pressure on one 21-year-old girl. That's a lot of pressure on a 31-year-old girl, 51-year-old girl. Like, I don't want to have that role, because then, like, even in the article, Justin's like, I've had trouble trusting Hailey, and we've worked through some things. And she just like nodded. It's like, oh, she was like talking to Method Man a little bit too long on Drop the Mic. Is that what it was? Oh, maybe it was you made her delete all her photos of Shawn Mendes off her Instagram page like a lunatic. Like, you don't get to put your trauma on someone else. You don't just get to like vomit it out and force other people to act in a way that soothes your issues, because it's bottomless. If you're a jealous person who doesn't trust, that shit is bottomless. You got to see a therapist. You got to work that out on your own. Hailey didn't do it. Hailey can't fix it. Even if Hailey did do it, she can't fix it. You got to fix it yourself. Closure is something we do not get from other people. Closure is something we get from ourselves, And so to foist that on this girl, your wife, in addition to just all the other wife shit, like, marriage really is a lot of work. Like, you have to choose to be in this relationship every single day. You're like, the problems that we encounter, we're finding a solution. That's just the way it is. If you don't have that attitude with marriage, it's like, you're kind of doomed to fail. If you're always like, we could just get divorced. Just get divorced. Just don't even get married in the first place. So yeah, I saw some red flags there. Like, don't go into a relationship thinking that this person is going to fix you, that they're going to cure you, or even worse, that they're going to black out the trauma that you've had in your life. All the bad breakups, all the this. They can't do that. You know the Tim McGraw song, Unbroken? Like, my heart's unbroken still since I met you. Like, basically you stitched me back together and made me forget everything. Has Faith Hill not done enough? Does she not do enough? Like, that's a huge burden to place on someone, because then you feel responsible solely for their happiness. So anytime you mess up, their response is going to be so disproportionate and so over the top bananas that you're going to become like kind of terrorized and walk on eggshells. It's like, no, I can't meet you for coffee, Method Man. It was not a good time. Like, you're going to live your life not only based on your issues, but now based on theirs. That's not fun. And that's not a sustainable marriage. The psyche must be heard. She will do it the easy way, and you can just listen to her, or she'll do it the hard way, and she'll ruin your life and force you out of a marriage that isn't working. If it's not working, it's not working. And when something isn't working, people do everything they can to deny it. They drink, they cheat, they do whatever, until they're finally back where they should have been when they started, which is, let's look at the problem, it's either get in or get out. But I hope this doesn't happen to Hailey and Justin. I like them together. Like I said, I do think that they're cute. I like how much he loves her. I think he's good for her. And she seems happy. She's always kind of, she's kind of like a homebody dork. And I think this is like good for her. But like I said, you don't have a baby with an agenda. You don't have a marriage with an agenda. You got to fix yourself first. Do the work. If you guys have more questions or want to talk more about Justin and Hailey, because I want to talk about them for the rest of my life, or want some insight into other celebrity couples, definitely leave it here in the comments section. If you have a private question, like I said, find me on the Instant Go app at ShallonXO, and follow me on Snap, Insta, and Twitter at ShallonXO, and click like and subscribe for new videos every Friday and a lot in between.